Yamaha guitars have been quietly knocking it out of the park over the past few years. First came their excellent and criminally underrated Revstar series, then came their revamped Pacifica in the beautiful HSS Stratocaster type styling, and now for 2026 we have their take on the Telecaster. This is the Pacifica SC, and in this case the Pacifica SC Standard Plus made in Indonesia model. What I want to do in this video is tell you everything there is to know about this guitar, just in case you're thinking at the moment about picking up one of these for yourself. So I'll start by telling you the specs and the features of the Pacifica SC, then I'll play it for you in as many different musical styles as I can possibly manage, and afterwards I'll give you my full and thorough opinions about this guitar. I've had it on loan from Yamaha Germany to make this video over the past few weeks. I've played the guitar a lot since I've had it, and I do have a lot to say about it. Now, timestamps to everything is going to be down in the description and the comments if you'd like to skip to a part of the video that you'd like to see first, but let's kick things off with the specs, the features, everything you need to know about the 2026 Yamaha Pacifica SC Standard Plus. Now, this being the SC Standard Plus model, it's made in Indonesia and priced very much in the mid-range of things, actually at sub $1,000. As of time of filming, this guitar, which comes with a very thick, chunky and well-fitted and padded gig bag, I might add, will currently set you back $999 or 970 or so euros, or about 850 of your Great British pounds. So it's not the cheapest T-style guitar in the world, but it's by far not the most expensive either. And if you would like to pay considerably more for a guitar like this, by the way, you can always check out the professional made in Japan version of the Pacifica SC, which will set you back over 2,000 of your US dollars. But anyway, this is the more affordable version, and being Yamaha, well, there's considerably more to this guitar than first meets the eye. It does look at first to be a pretty sort of bog standard HS style of a Tele, which is already a great thing, I have to say. If you know my channel, you'll know that my favorite guitar is my 2014 Fender Mexican HS Telecaster, modded by me of course, but this guitar has plenty more going on, and it's a more modern playing guitar than a traditional Fender Telecaster would be in some ways as well. Let's start with the body then. Now, we've got an older body on this guitar, and we've got the shell white finish here, which is kind of a sort of no frills sort of a finish, a bit of an IKEA finish, but I think it looks very elegant and it looks very classy as well. You could also go for an ash pink version or a peppermint green version or a desert burst version with the Rosewood board, and there are different colors if you want to go for the maple board version as well. So with all those colors available and Rosewood and maple fingerboard options, I think there's going to be a Pacifica SC Standard Plus for pretty much everyone watching this video. Otherwise, looking at the front of the guitar, well, it looks pretty standard in terms of Telecaster. Of course, you can see that we've got a slightly different shaped body and a slightly different shaped scratch plate than you would get on a Fender, and the control plate is slightly more ergonomically diagonally moving away from the pickups as opposed to being parallel to them as you would get with a Fender. But it's when you start to dig a little deeper that you start to get things that take this guitar away from being a bog standard clone of something like a classic Fender Telecaster. Now, I think the most obvious thing there is going to be with the pickups. These are a co-design between Rupert Neve Designs and Yamaha. Yes, that's the same Neve who did all those famous studio consoles that you will probably know. And the same two companies came together to co-design the pickups for the double cutaway Pacifica revamp as well. We've got a humbucker in the neck position. We've got a very Telecaster bridge single coil looking pickup in the bridge position. We've got a three-way selector switch to move between the two pickups. We've got a master volume control here, which has a high pass circuit in it, which is very much like a treble bleed in that the more you roll off the volume, the less of your precious top end you're going to lose from your signal, which is a great thing. And we've got a push-pull tone control here, and when you pull this up, you engage the focus switch. Now, the focus switch on this guitar is a fully passive transformer-based boost. That's going to give us a big thump and a big boost in the mid frequencies. It's going to give us a bump in the low end too, and it's going to gently roll off the highs as well. And the tonal effect that this is going to have is that it's really going to thicken and fatten up the Telecaster bridge-style single coil pickup here. We're going to lose some of that brittle, glassy top end, and it's almost going to sound like a genuine humbucking pickup. This is kind of something that I think you have to hear it to believe it. And believe you me, you will be hearing a lot of the focus switch in action during the playing part of the video. And finally, on the front of the body, we've got one big feature that Tele traditionalists are just going to love, and that's in the form of the vintage style Gotoh ashtray Telecaster bridge. This is actually a Gotoh BC-TS1S, and you've got 3 compensated brass saddles in this ashtray style bridge. It looks great. It is a classic Telecaster style bridge. I have a very similar Wilkinson affair that I fitted to my own favorite Fender Telecaster, and it's just the kind of thing that Tele nuts really, really like. So that's on the front of the guitar as well. And moving to the back of the body, you can see that we have a rather large cutaway here, as you get on more modern Telecaster designs. And we've got a slight recess to the top of the guitar here, where those 4 chunky neck bolts are. And this is really going to give us aided upper fret access on the guitar as well. And moving up towards the neck, there's one final feature to mention here. Where the neck meets the body, we have our truss rod adjustment wheel. This, I think, is a great touch, and I think all modern guitar makers should do this. Just makes looking after the guitar and tweaking the truss rod just that little bit easier. Now we've got a Rosewood fingerboard on this guitar, but you can of course get it in maple as well. 22 medium jumbo stainless steel frets on this one, and the guitar's neck itself is made of maple. We've got a lovely satin finish going on here. The profile of the neck is a nice modern C, not too thin, not too thick. It's slightly thicker than the double cutaway Pacifica neck. So if you like a chunkier neck, well, the SC one might feel more natural in your hand. Now we've got a 42mm Graphtec tusk nut here. The scale length is going to be 25.5 inches. That's 648mm, or Fender scale length. And the fingerboard radius is going to be a quite flat, but not super flat, 12 inches. And moving up to the headstock, we have that now classic Yamaha Pacifica headstock shape, and we've got 6 inline Gotoh locking tuners here as well. So, reminder again, this guitar will set you back $999, 970 euros, or 850 Great British pounds. You get an awful lot of guitar for your money, plus you get a really nice gig bag as well. But is it worth it? How good does it sound? How does it feel to play? And how worth it is that focus switch? That's what we're about to find out now, because it's time for me to get into some riffs and play the Pacifica SC for you. My rig for today is going to be my Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200 amplifier, and I'll use some of my favourite overdrive and distortion pedals to spice things up. We'll start on the amp's clean channel with just a smidgen of reverb, and we'll try some pristine, clean, jazzy tones, see how clean we can get. We'll gradually add in more and more dirt until we're in drop D, down-tuned metal territory, because why not? With a guitar like this, and with this focus switch, we should be able to do everything all the way up to proper heavy metal. Enough talk then, let's play the 2026 Yamaha SC Standard Plus now, and we'll speak in a bit more detail about it afterwards. Okay then, so that was the Yamaha Pacifica SC Standard Plus, and I hope you enjoyed the playing, the riffs and the tones, and I would love it if you could leave me a comment down there telling me what you think of this guitar. Could you see this replacing a Fender Telecaster for you? What about that focus switch? Is that a gimmick or is it something really worthwhile, and does it add something to this guitar? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comments as ever, and I look forward to getting a bit of a discussion going. But now it's time for me to tell you my thoughts and opinions about this guitar. If you know me already, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of Telecaster type guitars, and I actually modded my own favourite Fender Telecaster to be very similar to this in terms of the vintage ashtray style bridge that I've got and the humbucking pickup in the neck as well. But yeah, this seemed like a natural bedfellow for me, and I'm also a huge fan of what Yamaha's been doing in the past few years with their guitars. I love the newer Revstar designs, I love the new HSS double cutaway Pacificas as well, and I was really excited once I saw this guitar released at NAMM 2026. It's long overdue in my book. First impressions when I got it out of the box were very, very strong because, as I already said in the intro, it comes in that really nice, solid, well-fitted, chunky, padded gig bag. And this is not just a standard free thrown-in gig bag. It's a really nice, solid one that I'd have no problem throwing in a van and taking to gigs too as well. So a really nice gig bag too. And on taking the guitar out of the bag, well, this white finish is not going to be the most exciting one in the world. You can get this guitar in ash pink or peppermint green, for example, but I really like a nice, dependable white guitar as well. Really nice, dark rosewood board on this guitar too, so it passed the looks test in flying colours, and it passed the weight test too as soon as I picked it up. Normally I like a guitar to be under £8, and this guitar comfortably is. This specific one weighs in at 3.32 kilograms, which is about £7.5, so way under £8. That's a win for me. Really nicely balanced as well, full marks in the weight department. So in terms of first impressions, we were off to a great start. And next I started to look at the build quality of this guitar, and I find Yamaha in that sense to be a bit similar to Ibanez in that they're just absolutely immaculate whenever you get a new guitar out of the box. And I can't find anything to fault this guitar in the build quality stakes. I mean, we've got Gotoh locking tuners here, we've got a Gotoh bridge, we've got those Reflectone pickups by Yamaha and Neve Designs, we've got great hardware and a great setup and a great build throughout. We've got this Graphtec tusked nut here, the setup, the action, the intonation, the medium jumbo stainless steel frets. It's all really, really good. And of course the electronics do everything they should do, no problem whatsoever. So in terms of the build quality, full marks, 10 out of 10 for this guitar. Now playability, this is a modern feeling Telecaster in terms of playability, and I love that in a guitar. I love the modern C profile of this neck. I love the fact that we've got a lovely slinky satin finish here as well. The medium jumbo stainless steel frets are very, very comfy. This is a Telecaster body, so I personally find it to be incredibly ergonomic. We've got nice tummy cuts and great upper fret access as well. Combining that with the weight, and you've got a guitar that plays beautifully as well. And the other crucial thing we have to talk about is those sounds. Does the Yamaha Pacifica SC actually sound any good? Does it sound like a classic Telecaster should? And should it sound anything like a classic Telecaster should? Well, in my opinion, yes and no. You can get this guitar to sound a bit like a classic Tele, but this sounds like a much more modern, hi-fi, pristine sounding instrument, at least to my ears. And you've got a classic Tele to do the classic Tele thing. You can get this one for a more modern sound, and it's really going to be a great workhorse for so many different genres of music. It can do way more than a traditional Telecaster could as well, because you've got the focus switch for the bridge pickup, you've got the neck humbucker too, and that takes it to places that you couldn't go with a standard classic Fender Telecaster, for example. Now, starting on the clean channel, I thought we had a whole smorgasbord of tones available. I really like the sound of the bridge pickup on the clean channel of the amp. You can get twangy Telecaster sort of tones, use the focus switch to really fatten it up, and it breaks up the amp the same way as the humbucker on my Epiphone Les Paul does. It sounds that good. It's a really nice sounding humbucker-esque pickup when you put on that focus switch. Now, I find that the neck humbucker on this guitar, by contrast, is not actually as thick as you might think. It's a really thin sounding, although not in a bad way, humbucker. It's really infused with loads of clarity. It's not woolly at all, and that doesn't make it really jazzy or anything like that, but it is a great pickup for so many different things. And I think on the clean channel, being between the two pickups and either having the focus switch engaged or disengaged, we were in perfect ground for all sorts of strumming, for noodling, for arpeggios, for funky stuff, for indie stuff. It just worked, and I lost myself for hours just playing on the clean channel of the amp. But that said, I actually think this guitar really comes alive when you add a bit of gain into into the equation as well. And kicking in my Greer Lightspeed for some indie and alternative rock, we had some fantastic tones out of this thing. I love the bridge pickup as a single coil here. I love it as an almost humbucking focus switched engaged beast. It's really good for that as well. And as I upped the gain to about 3 o'clock on the Lightspeed, and we did some AC/DC, some Airbourne, some Hendrix, some classic rock rips, well, this guitar is fantastic for that as well. Still bags of clarity out of the neck humbucker, which almost sounds like a really fat single coil, and we've got so many options with the bridge pickup too. I then used my Crazy Tube Circuits heat seeker on the JCM 800 setting for the more hard rock stuff and the punk rock, and this guitar is fantastic for that as well. Once again, clarity, bags of clarity across the board, and you can really fatten things up when you need to with the focus switch. The more I upped the gain, the more I found myself going towards the focus switch, tending towards that sound, because it just works better. It is a more natural bedfellow for certain heavy settings. But both options are great. That carried on until we went down to drop D and I engaged the Rev G3, where this guitar handled itself totally fine for modern metal tones too. There I think you'd probably be using the focus switch at all times, and if you wanted to do true metal, of course you'd go for a proper active heavy humbucker guitar. But this guitar can do metal no problem whatsoever, and if you want to keep things super aggressive, super tight and super punchy, well, use that true bridge single coil Telecaster bridge pickup, and it does that thing that it should. It's a wonderful sounding guitar, never gets too noisy either, and I really rate it in the sound stakes. Like I said, this is not a classic Telecaster, but I don't think it needs to be either. The Pacifica SC is its own thing, and it does its own sounds too. So full marks for the Pacifica SC in terms of tones, but if you've been watching this video and you're wondering what else could be out there in a similar sort of vein, well, we're at $1,000 territory and we're doing Telecaster type things, so there are going to be many options, and of course the number one is going to be Fender. Right about now, for this sort of money, you could try something from their excellent Player 2 series of Telecasters, or you could try one of their Vintera Teles, which is going to give you more of a vintage sound, feel and performance as well. Loads of excellent options there, so try those out if you would like to do that as well. And if you'd like to drop more money than you did on this one for a Yamaha itself, you could try the Japan-built professional version, which has a few key improvements or tweaks over this Indonesian-built beast. So you could try that if you would like, or if you want to change things up a little bit, but you dig the vibes and the ethos of what Yamaha are doing, because you should, because they're really good, well, you could do far worse than trying the double cutaway Pacifica or the excellent and very underrated Revstar guitars. For about half the price of this one, for about 500 euros, the Revstar Element is an excellent guitar, absolutely fantastic, and I highly recommend that you try those out if you ever get the chance. But like I said, for about $1,000 and a T-style guitar, there are going to be so many options. So what I really recommend you do is head down to your local guitar store. Make sure that you try the Pacifica SC Standard Plus, because it is a fantastic guitar, but check out what else is out there and you'll surely leave with a guitar that really needs a spot in your collection. At the end of the day though, I'm a huge fan of the Pacifica SC Standard Plus. As if you know me, you'd have probably guessed before I started this video, but I pretty much love everything about it. I think it looks great, it feels fantastic, it plays wonderfully, it sounds beautiful, if a bit different from a standard Fender Telecaster, which is also a great thing as well, I think, and the whole package is just something where I can't fault it in any way, shape or form. Once again, I really recommend that you give one of these a try if you ever get the chance. I do feel like Yamaha guitars sometimes suffer in the same way that I think a brand like Ibanez suffers, in that they just don't have the same kind of mojo as certain Fenders or Gibsons might have. So you're probably going to pick a Fender Tele off the wall instead of this one, because it looks more exciting and it has the nostalgia behind it. But really, these are immaculate guitars, and you owe it to yourself to try one out if you're looking for a modern style Telecaster sort of instrument. You might surprise yourself. I surprised myself with how good this one is, and like I said, I really want to keep it. But I hope that this video has answered all of the questions that you may have had about the Pacifica SC Standard Plus. If there's anything else you'd like to know, drop me a line down there in the comments and I shall do my best to answer you. And if you're still around, it would really make my day if you wanted to give the video a like, or maybe even sub to my channel, because that really does help. But that's been it for today. I've been Rich, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.